know things didn't turn out the way you wanted them. That one you thought was a soulmate was just an illusion. That job promotion really wasn't a promotion, it was a jail sentence. I'm just keeping it real. That family that you thought was family never really acted like family. And those friends that you thought had your back are your biggest enemies. And here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you 24 hours to mourn, to cry it all out, a pout day. So you do what you need to do for the next 24 hours to get all that stuff out. And then I want you to answer this question. How are you going to respond? I am wounded, but I am not broken. I am by myself, but I'm not alone. When I am weak, I know my God is strong. And I will not quit until I prove them all wrong. Kisses of betrayal, the knife cuts, the blood runs red, the shark's lust, emotional wounds, scars, broken trust. We got different vibrations that can't comprehend us. Romantic violence, flirting, making soul flesh, screams of chaos, going to streams being crushed. The blood runs red, the shark's lust. They're about to make that savage inside of us. Don't wake the savage. One day down the road, you're gonna have to forgive these people that hurt you. But what I want you to do right now is to anchor this feeling, to channel all these emotions that you have on the inside, that betrayal, that anger, that bitterness. I want you to channel it. What the devil meant for harm, God will make good. See, there's a hidden energy, a hidden power, a secret locked in each and every trial and tribulation. And if you dig down and can find it, you can use it to go to that next level. And you can anchor this energy, the anger, the bitter, the frustration that's in this situation. You can anchor that with all your senses in such a way that you can tap back into it and use it whenever you want. Channel all of that energy, that focus into your thing. Forgive, but never forget how this feels. So when you overcome, when you come up out of this, when you get back on top, and you start wanting to get complacent, when you start wanting to take off days and start making shortcuts, remember how you feel right now. Go back into this moment so that you never lose what you're about to come back and see. See, before this situation, you were good. But to be great, to be unstoppable, to be invincible, you need to go through this. You need to learn the lessons in this moment. Seize this moment and capture every ounce of knowledge, wisdom, and power that resides in this situation. And what the devil meant for harm, God made good. Wounded, but not broken. In a coma, but not dead. Shh. Don't wake the savage. This is Dr. Billy Brooks, and I am blessed and unstoppable. Impact on billion people. Motivation on.
So many people are waiting. You're waiting for things to be perfect. You're waiting for everyone to get themselves together. You're waiting for someone to invite you into the room. You're waiting for someone to give you a seat at the table. You're waiting for someone to validate your gift. You're waiting for someone to call your name. You're waiting for someone to give you the opportunity. You're waiting for everything to line up. You're waiting for all the situations to come together perfectly. And I'm telling you, you cannot wait. You gotta start working right now. Depression is not waiting for you to get it together. Poverty's not waiting. Poverty's not waiting for the perfect moment, for the convenient time to get on you. No. Poverty will just roll up on you and disrupt your entire life. Fear's not waiting. Stress is not waiting. Your bills are not waiting. And if fear is not going to wait to attack you, then you can't wait to attack it. If stress is not waiting to attack you, you can't wait to attack it. Whatever is in your life that's trying to bring you, it is not waiting, so you cannot wait. You have got to step up now. I'm telling you, if you're waiting for your degree before you can build a legacy, you're waiting for your father to tell you that he loves you before you can start building legacy. You mean you're waiting for there to be perfect peace in our country before you start building your legacy? You're waiting for everything to line up before you start working on your legacy? No, you can't do that, man. You gotta start working now. You gotta start building legacy now. You yourself out of debt. Now is the time to start pursuing something greater. Now is the time to start building the vision that God put in your heart. Now is the time to start saving up for the home. Now is the time to start making those investments in yourself. You cannot wait. Don't wait another day. Don't wait another minute. Don't wait another moment. Now is your time. How long are you going to complain about what you don't have? How long are you going to complain about who didn't do it and who didn't take care of you and who didn't call you and who don't like you and what they said and what they think? Who cares what they think? Who cares what they said? This is not about them. This is about me. This is about what God wants to do in me. This is about the legacy that He wants me to build. This is about the impact He wants me to make. Why am I going to put my legacy to the side in order to appease a person who don't know who I really am? You got to get to a place where you recognize that I'm not just here passing time. I'm not just here just having fun, but I'm here to build legacy. I'm here to make things happen. I'm here to change the world. Now is your time.
Don't abort your mission out of frustration. When you are in the midst of a challenging situation, your mind will tell you that you are finished. Your mind will tell you that you may as well cut your losses now. Your mind will tell you that you are stuck and will probably be where you are right now for a long time. But your thoughts cannot be trusted when your emotions are high. Your thoughts cannot be trusted when you have just experienced rejection. Being rejected does not mean that you are not smart enough or talented enough. Rejection is a part of your journey to success. So don't get stuck in your disappointment. Instead of focusing on how unfair your situation is, I'm challenging you to use your frustration to push you harder. I want you to know that you are not finished. In fact, you are just getting started. You see, your trials and your difficult moments are just a part of your process. Your discomfort is actually helping you to transition into a stronger and wiser version of yourself. And for someone who is listening right now, you are feeling discouraged. You're feeling discouraged because of what you've lost. But I want you to know that what you have left is all you need to rebuild. I'm going to say that again. What you have left is all you need to rebuild. Your brokenness signifies a new beginning. This is a new beginning for you. So this is not the time for you to slack off. This is not the time for you to go to your unhealthy coping mechanism, whatever that is for you. This is not the time for you to go into your room, turn off the lights, and pull the covers over your head. This is the time for you to go into warrior mode. The dreams that you have are not going to fall into your lap. We all want that. We all want the easy route. We all want it to happen fast. But the truth is that you've got to be willing to fight for what you want. And And sometimes the person that you have to check is yourself. Yes, you heard that correctly. You have to check yourself because your dreams cannot become a reality without you. You have to be confident in you. You have to believe that you have what it takes. You have to declutter your mind. You have to make sure that you are managing yourself wisely, that you are making the right decisions. You have to make sure that you keep the promises that you have made to yourself. You have to envision what you want and refuse to let go until you get it. So what is going to enable you to finish? Well, there's a lot that goes into achieving your goals, so I don't want to make it sound like it's simple, but I can tell you this. Without extreme focus and tenacity, you will do a whole lot of starting, but very little finishing. So take note of this. Finishing requires focus. And you might even have to repeat that to yourself. Finishing requires focus. It's easy to become distracted, especially with all of the chaos that's going on in the world right now. But you have work to do. And so it's important that you keep your focus in the right place. It's important that you keep working towards crossing the finish line. The easiest way to sink into a state of depression is to become consumed by your problems. There's a difference between being aware of your problems and being consumed by them. So if your problems are all that you seem to think about, your focus is in the wrong place. It's going to be up to you to recognize when it's time to shift your focus. And so whenever your mind tries to take you to a place that pulls you into a state of despair, you got to shift your focus. When you entertain negative thoughts, it's like being in quicksand. Before you even realize it, you can go from having a simple negative thought to feeling discouraged. And this doesn't take a long time. It can happen in a matter of minutes.
and understanding that if you're trying to be better than the opponent, you got to work a little bit harder than the person that you're up against.
You must build a mindset for success. A mindset that can endure pain and struggle, because it will come. Your mindset will make or break you.
A champion has to make significant sacrifices. A champion has to be disciplined. A champion has to be hungry. You got to dedicate everything about you.
Train like a champion.
Champions understand that discipline is always, always, always the key.
There is no winning in excuses. There are no victories and giving up. You got to understand within you is greatness. Within you is something that is waiting to be awakened. You are the one that is responsible for this work that must be done. Everyone wants to be great at something, but wanting it and doing something about it and ultimately needing it, it's going to take work. It's going to take dedication, because procrastination is the assassination of your motivation that will ultimately lead you to your destination. Make sure you understand that you're going to have to put something in it to get something out. A champion does not worry. It doesn't concern himself about challenges that they have to face. They realize that they have to put in work. They realize that every opponent that they face is an opportunity to go a little farther up that ladder. You're not worthy to be a champion if you don't apply yourself to be one. You're not worthy to hold on to a title if you don't have the integrity and the understanding and the grit and what you need to do to maintain what it means to be a champion. You don't deserve to have it handed to you. You may have to accept a few losses. You're gonna have to sometime understand that you got to lose so that you can win it all. A champion, a worker, a believer, someone that knows what it means to push, someone that understands that they got to do more than less. When you are in that position and competition shows up, be ready to fight. Be ready to fight. Be ready to fight for your life. Be ready to give it everything you got. Make sure what you are up against, understand that you are there to do business. You are there to work hard. You are there to outwork what's against you.
I am unstoppable. I have the mindset to succeed on the field, in the business world, in every arena of life.
Because what you are facing is not there to apologize to you. It's not there to say it's okay. You're not going to get anything given to you. You better show them that you are there to work. You are there to push. You are there to give it everything that is necessary so that you can understand what it truly means to be a champion. If you are what you say you are, then do what you gotta do. But saying and doing is two different things. Let your actions speak for themselves. Don't sleep on your success. Make sure that you are doing exactly what is necessary to be the greatest champion that the world has ever seen. You must fight. You must realize and you must believe when there are adversaries against you, when there are multiple challenges coming at you, when everything that is trying to destroy your idea of being your best, keep your eyes on the prize and move forward. Fight with your heart. Fight for the love that you have inside of you. Believe in everything that you are putting forward and leave the rest behind you. for yourself, but for the rest of the world that is watching you. Make your stand. Make your stand for the right reasons. Make your stand matter. Keep your eyes forward. Make sure you're feeling everything that you need to feel inside to finish what you started. Make sure everything that you believe in stays with you. Because the moment you are faced with any challenge, there is no turning back.
There's nothing that can stop me. Not you, not anybody. I am great. I am phenomenal. So are you. So are you.
Your time is now. Make sure you make that moment count. If you believe that you are a champion, then stand on it. Because that is ultimately what champions are made for.
I can get through this. I will get through this. I must get through this. The days you're not plugged in are the days you don't get 120.
I have too much to accomplish to be satisfied with where I am right now. I have too much on the line. I have too many people depending on me to win. I must stay hungry.
You want to kill an alligator? You kill it right after it eats. Because right after it eats, it gets satisfied. And it goes to a state like it's almost paralyzed. Some of y'all in this room, are you paralyzed? You had a little success? You done what nobody else in your family has done, and now you chilling? Come on, you ain't hungry no more. Next 100, I need you to stay focused. Why? You should still be hungry. What have you eaten that got you satisfied? What have you done? What have you accomplished that got you so full? I'm a contender, but the next 100 gonna change my life. You're gonna change this world. We're ordinary people doing extraordinary things. If that's you and you're feeling me, just say I can. Come on, I can. I can. Come on, one time. Yep, I will. Yep, I must. All right.
You study any animal in the animal kingdom, and I would tell you this, that the lion is king because the lion is hungry. The elephant is bigger than the lion, and the sheep is faster than the lion. But nobody is more hungry than the lion. Go ask any athlete, actor, musician, philanthropist, it doesn't matter. You ask anybody who is a champion, and the difference between them and their opponent is they were more hungry for it. If there's anything I can pour from my heart in this moment, my greatest piece of advice is to protect your hunger.
Put some context into it. Put some context. They sent my mother-in-law home 8 years ago. The cancer metastasized throughout her whole body. They're like, it ain't nothing we can do for you. Go home, spend time with your family. And people was like, yep, that's it for her. She said, it's not it for me. They said, what do you mean it's not over for you? The doctor said she don't care nothing about a doctor. I gotta see my grandson graduate from high school. He's a junior now at Michigan State University. She said, I gotta see my granddaughter graduate, and my only 2 grandkids. I gotta see my granddaughter graduate from high school, and she graduates in June. She said, after that, I might die. But up until then, I ain't going nowhere. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? And what we said to each other is, I can get through this. I will get through this. I must get through this. So I just need you to think about 3 people in your family that you love. 3 people. 3 people that you love. 3 people. You got them? They there? You got them? This is what I need you to do for me. Because some of you have a hard time staying motivated for a straight 100 days. So what I need you to do for me is I need you to think about those people every day when you're doing what you're doing. You have some days when you just want to hit the snooze button, raise your hand for me. You want to hit the snooze button, right? So watch this. This is what has to happen. That person that you think about has to be louder than the snooze button. So when you think about Granny, you gotta think about, do I hit the snooze button or do I get up and make it happen for Granny? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Who you doing this for? So the days you don't feel like getting up, just think about them. Somebody tell me in this room, when you think about your siblings, when you think about mom and dad and grandma, when you think about your uncle and aunts, when you think about those coaches, those people who've been there for you, just raise your hand if you say, E.T., sleep is better than that. Just raise your hand and tell me, anybody in the room, sleep is better than them, E? Raise your hand, somebody tell me, E.T., you don't get it, you don't know how hard it is, E? I probably don't. I just live in abandoned buildings. Hey, I trash days, I probably don't. Maybe I ain't never been through what you've been through, but I've been through my go-through. And you don't get here by quitting when you're tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Execution is worship. And so I execute for my mom. I execute for my grandma. I execute for my sister. I execute for those kids in the hood who are looking for a role model. That's why I wear the hat. With a PhD, that's why I wear the J's. So when the kids in the hood look at me, they say, if E.T. can do it, I can do it. That's why I can't quit and give up, even though I get tired just like everybody else. Why? Because this is what I do. This is my leg. This is your leg. You gotta murder it. When I ask you, you got energy, don't play with me. When I say again, you got that energy for the next 100 days. I need to feel your soul in this room. I can. Come on, I can. Come on, I can. I will. I must. Come on, I can. I will. I must. Give yourself some energy. Come on, give yourself.
I don't care if you gotta listen to me 1,000 times. I need you to get crystal clear about your future. Because the only reason why you are here, the only reason why you're alive is because you have work to do. And you gotta figure out, why on earth are you here? What is your destiny? What is the dream that God has given you? You gotta have like a shark mentality, because if a shark swims backward, it dies. A shark can only move forward. And so I need you, every single day you wake up to smell blood and go after that dream. When you are hungry, you are creative. When you are hungry, you are innovative. When you are hungry, when you are no longer full, when you are no longer satisfied with where you are and you raise your standards, it is only then that you can have your future. If you can stay hungry, you can get the resources. If you can stay hungry, you can get the strategy. If you can stay hungry, the ideas gonna come. If you can stay hungry, the connections will be aligned. If you can stay hungry. The problem with many of you is that you got full, you got complacent, you got lazy. Somewhere along the line, you lost your enthusiasm, your optimism. You lost your hunger. I'm never full. I'm never full. I'm never full. I'm never full. You gotta get hungry, 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 hungry. Eliminate all distractions. Eliminate all distractions. So you gotta have a goal. You gotta have a dream. You gotta get hungry. And then you gotta get real disciplined. Because motivation will get you going. But speech will get you fired up. But discipline is going to give you the power to stay committed to whatever that goal is. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Some praise can be poison. It keeps you locked in a state of paralysis. And you shine at trophies from the past. And that's why you always hear those people from the past like, yeah, remember back in the day when I used to do this. Remember back in the day, we're still shining the trophy of the past accomplishments. So sometimes we can receive praise like a venomous snake that injects its poisonous venom in our veins and in our heart, and we get full. We get real full. You gotta be hungry for your dream. You gotta be hungry for your next level. You gotta be hungry for connection and alignment.
time. Yep, I will. Yep, I must. All right. So we're gonna be very intentional and deliberate, right? There's some stuff we're gonna do every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday, every Saturday, every Sunday. We're gonna be very intentional and deliberate, and we're not gonna let success happen to us. We're gonna go take it. We're gonna go create it. We're gonna make up something that never existed before. I don't know, and maybe you guys know more than I do, but I don't know any motivational speaker in the world with a baseball hat and a pair of Yeezys. I don't know with the blue jeans on. I don't know the guy with the shorts and the t-shirt. Last time I checked, they all had on a nice white shirt with a nice blazer, right? And they all had a certain look. We made something that didn't exist before. We created it. We call it the hip hop preacher. We made it up. And we made it popular. As a matter of fact, if you go online now, there are many sources that would say we're where in the world, CJ? #1 in the world. We made it up. So if it doesn't exist, don't worry. Make it up. No, I'm being honest. You think I'm playing? Just make it up. I'm a college graduate with a PhD. Never happened in my family before. I made it up. Nobody in my family has ever written books. We just made it up. CJ is a graduate. Candace is a graduate. Carl is a graduate. Tamisha is a graduate. We just made it up. Here we are in New Zealand. Let me tell you something. Most people that I grew up with will never see this. They'll never see this place. We've been all over the world. So look, you can make it up. You have within you the ability not to be a copycat. You have an ability to go to an industry and change that industry forever. It's in you, and that's why you're in this room, and that's why I'm challenging you when you walk out of this room. Anybody see the St. Louis video I did where I was going off on this kid at a high school? Anybody raise your hand? I just want to see a couple people who saw it. Hands out, watch this guy. People ask me, why would you do that? I said, because I love him. And I saw greatness in him. And if you love somebody, you see greatness in them, you can't let them walk out and stay the same. So I'm challenging you today because greatness is in you and I need you to activate it. All right, so before I go to my last 2 slides, this is going to be painful for some of you, but I need you to think about what I'm going to say, and I want you to be honest. Nobody's watching. I'm not collecting this. I want you to be honest. The highest scale is 120%. If people ask me, E.T., why not 100? Because 100% means that you do exactly what they tell you to do, and you do it very well. 120% means you know the benchmarks, you reach the benchmarks with greatness, and then you create your own benchmarks. That's 120. So on a scale, being 120 is the highest. Would you say, E.T., in terms of my life, in terms of being intentional, in terms of going at it, in terms of creating what does not exist, in terms of waking up every day and boom, making the most of every day, I can honestly say I'm at 120%. I'm giving everything I have. I don't have anything else left. You're giving 120. I just want you to raise your hand. I'm giving 100. I don't have nothing else left. E.T., I'm giving 90%. I'm giving about 90% effort right now. Okay, 80%, raise your hand. I'm giving about 80% effort. Good, write it down, write it down. I know me, and I know what I'm capable of. I'm probably giving 70% effort. Let me see your hand, 70% effort, good. Hands down, 60%, write down the number. 60%, good, good. 50%, I know me. I'm probably giving 50%. Let me tell you something. New Zealand Air, is it New Zealand Airlines, is that what it is? Let me tell y'all something. We were in England and we flew to Poland and somebody put us on EasyJet. And when I saw the airplane, I said, something's wrong. this is crayons. Somebody used crayons. Right? There's like 4 colors. I'm like, there's something wrong with this, right? I've never been on it before, but it looks average. We had to walk and go down and walk like a mile to get on the plane. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. We're walking a mile 0.5. This is I could have jogged this. We started walking in, I saw the seats, I saw the way the people were, and I was like, unbelievable. One girl had like on a blue hookup, another one had on the orange. My man had on like lime green, like nobody was matching. I was like, this is average. I'll be honest with y'all, we fly Virgin, and so Virgin told us all the flights are gone, you guys are gonna be on New Zealand Air. I've never been on New Zealand Air before in my life. I asked a lady, I was like, are they good? Like, y'all switching with them. Like, y'all, I bought from Virgin. Y'all switching with New Zealand, we good? She's like, are you gonna be fine? So we walked up to the counter. All of them had on the same exact outfit. I was like, whoa. I told her, I said, you looking good. Right? Everybody was friendly. Right? Everybody's like that family atmosphere. Matter of fact, we had a little challenge and we didn't know what our flight was. She's like, don't worry about it, take care of it. I'll call Virgin for you. She called my man at Virgin. He walked over and brought our returning tickets. I was like, yes. We get on the plane. I'm like, ooh. Do they lay down? I'm like, we about to lay down to go there? Wow. TVs popped out, but the boom, TV. I'm like, wow, I couldn't sit down. What you like, champagne, apple juice, orange juice? I was just like, can I have everything? I was like, no, people. I was like, oh, I'll take the orange juice then. I'm talking about, man, we had a conversation. I don't remember the young lady's name, but we had a conversation with her for about 25 minutes. I was like, can you do that? Don't you have a job? We were in the air. She just, and where are you from? And you do what? And it's not your first time. She said, how many restaurants did she tell us about? See, about 6. The Grill, you remember any other ones that were on there? That's just a whole bunch of restaurants. I'm talking about, I didn't want to get off. When we landed, I was this. He was like, E-Rap. I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, I hope when we go back, they cancel Virgin. Because I don't want to fly Virgin no more. I want New Zealand Air. I mean, it was an incredible experience. 120%. 120%. I went in the bathroom, guys. The bathroom had a window. I was like, look, I went back. I didn't even use the bathroom. I went back and grabbed my phone and went in there and did a video. I was like, all right, y'all, the first time you're not gonna believe this. Okay, you see that? And then they had, what was the little decorative thing they had in the, was it like it was a towel made like what was it? What's it again? Yeah, there we go, origamis. He's smarter than I am, right? I didn't know the name for it, right? It's right, I'm saying, what? Like a cruise ship, it's right there. And so I'm in the bathroom video, and I forgot to use the bathroom, right? I was so excited. That's 120. And can I tell you the truth? I hate when people give 70%, but they want the life of somebody that's giving 120%. I challenge you, your life is where it is because of the percentage that you give. That's why I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because I'm 120. And I'm living the 120 experience. All right, so let's get out of here. All right, real quick, I gotta go. All right, so what's your routine? I need you to have a routine. I want you to get up at the same time every day for the rest of your natural life or earlier. Right? Take breaks when you need to take breaks. Your body will tell you, your creativity will tell you. So we're not saying don't take breaks. A part of going 120 is knowing when to rest. You need a daily routine. What time you go to bed, what time you wake up. What are the activities of that? Now, Glenn, I don't have any empirical evidence, but I believe for every goal you have, there might be 1,000, 2,000 activities that have to take place in order for that dream to come reality. I need you to identify what those are. I don't know what it is for you, but in order for me to do a video, there's a lot that has to take place in order for me to do a video. One, making sure that the clothes that I wear actually match the content. Making sure the environment I'm in is in the right environment. Listen to me, when we were with Rebel Sports this morning, we were unfortunately in an environment where there was a studio, it was a lot of noise, we had to do a few takes. Right? While we were prepared, we weren't in the best environment because we had to do several takes. People ringing the doorbell in the middle of our take. Now that's kind of difficult when you're like me and like you feel stuff and you gotta start all over again. Right? So I don't know how many activities, but I guarantee you, for every milestone, right, there might be 1,000 tasks. And I need you to identify what those are. And I need you to do it daily. This is what happens. When you start doing it daily, there's a momentum that happens. And there's some success that starts to happen to your life just because. Now look, guys, I did a couple videos, a couple voiceovers in the States, and guess what happened? Now I'm doing them all over again. Right, got it? And so today a big one came out in the States during a football game. Goodyear, are you blimp worthy? And here I am with a video releasing, and I'm in New Zealand doing another, right? So routine, good, we good? Good, routine, good. So what's your routine? Now be honest, how many of you guys in this room already have a routine that you're giving 120% to? Raise your hand, you're giving 120% to that routine, no variation. How many of you, about 90% of the time, you're sticking with your routine? Good, 80% of the time, you're sticking with your routine. Good. 70% of the time, you're sticking with your routine. Good. 50% of the time, you're sticking with your routine. Good. Here's the key. If you don't have your dad in your life, your mom got pregnant early, you don't have a lot of money in the bank, you don't have a deep network, you can catch all the guys. I can name all the top motivational speakers for you. And I caught them by using this routine. So I caught them. Right? So I caught them. I'm going to prisons. I'm going to elementary, middle schools, high schools. I'm going to small universities, major universities. That's how I catch them. I have a routine. And what I've discovered is that the bigger you get, the less you do. So I just did the opposite. The bigger I get, the more influence I have. I was just with a guy back at home with the Clippers. His name is CP3. He's a basketball player. He has about 5 million followers. So we were on together. He was like, yo, ET is the best motivational speaker in the world. So all my stuff went up, right? So immediately after that, boom, I'm hitting schools. Like I will not be outworked. So I'm the opposite. When my influence goes up, my work goes up, which means what? Now I can go into a school because I'm famous back at home. I can go to a school and I don't need to do any paperwork. I can just call and say, yo, I'm in Detroit today, I'm in Chicago today. I'd love to come to your school. And they're like, we'd love to have you. When can you get here? I can be there in an hour. We'll have all the kids in the auditorium when we get here. Right? So my routine is how I kill them. Listen to me. This is what I love about what I teach. It doesn't require money and you don't need a certificate. Listen to me very close. You don't need anything to have a routine, but make your mind up that you want a routine and that you're going to stick with that thing, right? So I'm not saying you have to get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning like I do. I'm not saying that. You can get up whenever you need to get up, but you need a routine and you need to stick with that routine. All right? Good. I just want to show you. 2:30 a.m., 4:30 a.m. That's my spiritual, my personal time, my prayer, and my meditation. Every day it happens. Right? Every day it happens. I start the same way. Spiritual. I just believe that I need to be spiritually strong. I believe that, right? Now, I don't teach that to other people. I'm not telling you to be what I am, but this is what's important for me. All right? Number 2 is the physical. I'm hitting that treadmill, right? Stationary bike, push-up, sit-up. That's my thing. And now I have a prayer line from 5:30 to 6:30 in the morning. There are a group of men that I call, and we hold each other accountable. We talk about this is what our goals are for the day. This is what we need to get accomplished. And at the end of the day, we actually take what we've accomplished and we put it on a board. Right? Group Me. Anybody heard of Group Me before? It's an app called Group Me, and we're all together, and we put all our stuff up at the end of the day. Can I be honest with you guys? I think I'm more committed to the accountability than I am to the actual physical workout. Does that make sense to anybody? Like, I don't think that I really like working out. But what I don't want is everybody's putting up their stuff and I don't have nothing to put up. So I think that I'm not really like into, being physically fit. I'm into accountability. Right? So every day this happens. Good. Steve was teasing me. Where were we? When we were in England, I was on a prayer line. Right? What do you call that package that I had? The blowout. Meaning what, Steve? Yeah? How many prayer lines do I hit? Why? Because no matter where I'm in the world, and no matter how much it costs, I have to stick with my routine because my routine has made me great. If it costs $5,000 to talk on the phone and to be able to do that right there, my routine, that's what Warren Buffett said, richest man in the world. I'm in the room with 30 dudes and the richest man in the world, and he talks about his routine, how he has the same routine. And I'm saying that the richest man in the world has a routine. It's not rocket science. Seems like the routine must be the thing to do. Right? And some of you are losing. You are losing because you don't have a routine. You are losing. Look at me. I know my wife so well that I know how much time I have to spend with her. I know how many days in a row I have to spend with her. She's an only child. It gets to a point where you're getting on her nerve. And now that she has MS, what happens is there's a coating on your nerve that's no longer there. And so you really, when she said you get on my nerve, like she really means you get on her nerve. I know my wife only needs 2 hours a day. But it's 2 hours, very intentional, deliberate, focused 2 hours. Not on the phone, not watching TV. She needs you right here. My wife's like, I'm taking my nap. I need you. I'm like, I don't even like to sleep. All right, just hold me, and when I fall asleep, you can get out. And if I hold her 5 times out of 7 days, she's gonna say I'm an excellent husband. If I only do it 4, he's like, you're a good husband. If I only do it 3, she gonna call C. See, he worked too much, C. What are you guys doing? See, you need to talk to your boy. See, it's getting out of hand now. He's spending too much time on the business and not enough time with his. See, hey, E, man, I'm gonna need you to do 2 more days. I'm like, I got it, see. Am I real? Am I telling the truth? I know how many days it's gonna take. And if I only do 3, I know she getting the call. I already know it. I have to text him, see if I can get a call. I'm gonna need you to balance it out now. I know she's right, but give me a little love, right? All right, so I need this from you guys. Then finally, 6:30 to 8 o'clock, my kids are at the university now, but when they used to be home, breakfast, iron my wife's clothes the last 20 years. I've ironed her uniform. She's a nurse. Last 20 years, right? So listen to me, guys. I'm winning. I'm winning. I have a blue, I guarantee you, the All Blacks, I guarantee you, the coach don't say, hey, you guys are great. Just get out there and play. It's going to be a great game. Coach, what about the strategy? We don't need a strategy. We're great. Just go out and do your thing. What position am I? Don't worry about positions. Everybody just go, beast mode. We've been winning for years. We'll continue to. We don't need a strategy. Just go beast mode. It's not how it works, guys. They have this, and you don't. Come on, page 2, guys. 8 to 1. Grind, read, write, school, gigs, meetings, quality time. My wife, every day she comes home, CJ, it never fails. We do what at 1 o'clock? Good. It's so, let me tell you something. It's so bad, C got it. See, where do we go to lunch at? Just give me the spots. Outback. First of all, I love it because the Outback is an Australian restaurant that we go to at the States. It's like down under, right? And so I came to Australia like, yo, I gotta go to the Outback, baby. Let's go to the Outback. He was like, the who? I was like, come on, the Aussie onion rings. He's like, we don't have that. I'm like, it's gotta be. I heard the Australian accent on the commercials, right? So at least 2-3 times a week back at home, we feel like we're still in Australia. We're going to the Outback. Where else do we go? Cheesecake Factory. What's my favorite, see? Chipotle. Guys, I do it so much, it's a joke now. He'll call me at 1:15 like, where you at? The Outback? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, you're keeping that place alive. You know they would close if it wasn't for you, right? So guys, I need it. I need it. This is why most of you are losing in certain areas, because you don't have this. One, you don't have meaning attached, you don't have value, and you don't have your schedule. You need to get your schedule, all right? Come on, simple stuff. I'm not real smart. Like, bro, I'm not a real school smart guy. But watch this. This is the second thing or third thing of how we blew up. Not only do we know what our sweet spot is, we hit the same spot every single day. This is the beauty of a routine. Now, this is what I'm telling you. You cannot bring a tree down by hitting it 1,000 times. If you hit a tree 1,000 times, there's no guarantee it's gonna fall. What do you mean by that here? If you hit a tree 1,000 times in 1,000 different spots, the tree is not gonna fall. But if you hit a tree 1,000 times in that same exact spot, she's gonna come to the ground. Your problem is you did hit it 1,000 times, but in 1,000 different places. What makes us unique is that we do the same thing every Monday. You get in TGIM. Every Thursday you get in our podcast. Are you hearing me? It's the same stuff. We hit the same spot every day. And even when you're not real smart and you're not that deep, guess what? You can still bring the tree down by hitting the exact same spot. When you see me on the road, I got the same outfit. I'm so bad, I wear the exact same outfits. Only thing might change is my shoes. I got the same hat, I got the same shirt, I got the same short, I got the same. My wife said, are you still wearing them same shorts? I said, absolutely. She said, how many pairs do you have? I said, 1. I just wash. I need you to do me a huge favor, stop trying to be deep. I need you to do the exact same thing every single day for the next 10, 15, 20 years and watch that tree come down. And watch you go from 0 to a multi-million-dollar company, to working with the top NFL teams, which is our football league, the top NBA teams doing commercials. Nothing's changed, guys. I'm doing the exact same thing I was doing 20 years ago. I just keep doing it.
Good. So number one, listen to me. Don't write this down. This is not a principle. Listen quickly. I give you the first principle. Number one, this is not the principle. It's going to be a dog fight. I would love to tell you that on the road to success, everything is going to work out. It's not. It's going to be a dog fight. It's going to be a dog fight. For those of you watching my videos, on the road to success, I lost 5 aunts to cancer. It's a dog fight. In the midst of my business, I lost aunts. I had to go to funerals. We had to get on a plane. We had to drive. We had aunts that are close to my age who died, who didn't have insurance. We had to raise money. A dog fight. I had cousins shot in stores, execution style, shot back of the head twice. It's a dog fight. Like, you don't see that on YouTube. You don't see that on my TGI. It's a dog fight. My wife, 3 years ago, 7 legions found on her brain. It's a dog fight. It hasn't been easy. It's a dog fight. It hasn't been, the road hadn't been success. Like, it's just a paved road. And like, E.T. go this way. It's been rough. It's been crooked. It's been hard. But I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dog fight. And so if you're ready to quit, then don't get started. If you're ready to quit, don't get started. If you're looking for this easy path, don't get started. If you think they're not going to close the door on you and say no 1,000,000 times, don't get started. But every time they close the door, I just get excited. Why? Because I am not a no. I'm 1 yes away. I'm 1 yes away. You can't keep telling me no forever. You can't keep denying me forever. This type of energy, this type of passion, you can't stop it. You can contain it for a while, but you cannot stop. This is life. And you can't defeat me. There is not. You don't have enough power. You don't have enough energy. You don't have enough strength to stop this. Contain it for a year, you might. 2 years, you might. You do not have hate, does not have enough energy to destroy love. You cannot destroy this. And so I'm telling you today, it's going to be a dog fight. And the sooner you realize it's going to be a dog fight. Okay, so let me just say this to you. So in America, right, and I'm sure it's the same thing here, but they're in our armed forces. Let's just pick one, the Navy, for instance. We just pick the Navy, right? Well, let me tell you guys, this is good. Listen to me very closely. The first thing they teach you, somebody over here, help me out. You are in the Navy, right? They're teaching you war. Right? What's the first thing they teach you? Boot camp, the very first, somebody tell me over here, they take a wild guess. What's the first thing they teach soldiers? Good, courage, okay. This side. Discipline. So give me something practical. What's the first practical thing that they would teach you? Say it again. Defending yourself, somebody over here. How to swim, listen to me very closely. The first thing they teach you, the very first thing they teach you, is how to respond when you have a jam gun. And number 2, how to carry your dead body. That's the first thing they teach you. They don't teach you how to defend yourself. They don't teach you how to swim. The first thing they teach you is when your gun is jammed. The first thing they teach you is a dead body, how to carry a dead body. And somebody tell me, why would they start you there? That's the worst case scenario. That's what you're not prepared for. That's what you're not thinking. You're not thinking when you go out there to defend yourself that your gun is gonna jam. You're not thinking when you go out there that your boy gonna get killed and you gotta drag. You're not thinking that. So listen to me. It's not hardships that hurt us. It's not my cousin getting shot twice. It's not my cousin spending 50 years in jail. It's not my aunt dying of cancer. It's not my wife being diagnosed with 7 legions on the brain that will break you. What will break most people that you didn't prepare for that? So when you put all your little goals and all your little dreams together, it's not the thing that broke you. It was you never even thought about the fact that you could be broken. You never prepared. You never prepared for worst case scenario. And the reason why E.T. If you know anything about me, I still lay on floor. eat chips off the floor. I still do some stuff that to most people is crazy, like E.T., why would you do that? Because I'm always prepared that we may not live in that house one day. One day something might happen, and we might have to go back to that. And if I have to go back to that, it's not gonna break me. And so I present to you a diamond. Most women love them. And most men spend a lot of money on them. I'm gonna say it again. Most women love them. And most guys have to work a long time to be able to get a nice one. The thing we covet the most, for a diamond to be produced, it must first go through extreme heat. Extreme heat. Extreme pressure. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? For a diamond to be produced, it has to go through extreme pressure. Extreme heat. And if that wasn't enough, what makes a diamond is the cuts. So you are put through, if you want to be a diamond, you must go through extreme pressure. If you can't take pressure, then you're not a diamond. After you go through all the pressure you thought you could not handle, and you think it's over, then they turn on the heat. Of all the stuff I've gone through in my life, eating out of trash cans, sleeping in abandoned buildings. The worst thing that ever happened is when I went to the hospital and they told me my wife had a chronic illness and she might not be able to walk one day. People say, E.T., ask CJ, it never broke me. Why? Because I've been broken so much. I've been defeated so much. I've been disappointed so much in my life that I know what it feels like and I can handle it. It didn't happen to me at 19. It didn't happen to me at 20. It didn't happen to me at 30. It happened to me at 40. After I had been through all the pressure I thought I could go through. Life said, you finished with all the pressure? I said, yeah. They said, then bring on the heat. And then when I went through the pressure and the heat, y'all, I thought it was over. The Creator said, now you ready to get cut? You said you wanted to be great, son. You said you wanted to travel the world. You said you wanted to help people, inspire people. Hey, you gotta be a diamond. But listen to me very closely if you've ever studied the diamond. Once it goes through that type of pressure and it finally becomes a diamond, at that point you can't break it no more. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? Once you get to that point, you cannot be broken anymore. And the only way they can tell if a diamond is a diamond or if it's fake is by applying pressure is how they tell. They'll just look at it. You think you just look at the thing like I looked in the thing. They'll just bring it here, put it on some glass. Okay, it's real. So I'm being honest with you. I'm not giving you the 7 principles to. I'm trying to tell you the very first thing I want to tell you before we go through the principles. It's going to be a dog fight. And if you soft, this ain't that you want to get out now. This is where you like, I quit. But if you're willing to say, I'm not going to quit, I guarantee you whatever success you want to have, you're going to have it. All right, so here's number 1. I apologize. It took a long time to get to number 1. Number 1, Denzel Washington. You must be very intentional and deliberate. You must be very intentional and deliberate. The stuff that you wrote down on that piece of paper is not going to happen by osmosis. You're not going to wake up one day and find a law degree. You're not just going to walk out of your house, oh, there it is with my name on it. I'm a doctor now. It suddenly appears. It's not going to work like that. If you're married, it's not going to. If you're married, I promise you, I've been married over 26 years. If you're going to have a good relationship, you're going to have to work for it. If you have a business, you're going to have to work for it. If you have a healthy relationship with your children, and I've made up in my mind that nothing's going to stop us from having a daily relationship. I will do whatever it takes, make whatever adjustments I need to make. So it's going to be a dog fight, but I'm telling you from personal experience, you don't have to start with anything.